can sit down. How's everybody? How you holding up? You got that excited glow? I have it for you, let me say. I did not have the opportunity to watch y'all walk through the gates onto campus, but it was a joy to watch y'all walk out of those gates today. It really was. Congratulations. As as you mark this moment, this is one of those moments that I need you to hold on to make some sense of. There's a lot in your lives. There are a lot of moments that you need to mark like this, but this one is big. This one is big. I want you to gather your courage. I want you to find your peace. I want you to know community, and I want you to be fearless in the days to come. I think we have given you what you need to do all of those things. I think if you find that you need some help with community, courage, peace, joy, feel free to reach out to us. Reach back out to us. We're here for you. I want to thank our corporation member, Maya Robertson, who is from the class of 2016. She's an assistant professor in the Department of Health Policy at UNC Chapel Hill. Maya told me earlier that though she was not an Africana concentrator, that Africana was her home and her peace. And so we're proud of that we didn't completely train you, but we made a home for you. Her broad research interests are in applying epidemiologic methods to health policy and health services research to promote health equity using big data. She's specifically interested in equity in cancer care delivery for Black people in the U.S. South. Dr. Robertson has experience working in cancer registries, claims data, national healthcare databases, health equity, and social epidemiological theory. She earned her MS-PH and PhD degrees in the field of epidemiology from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill School of Global Public Health. And while at UNC, she was a Truman Scholar and a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Health Policy Research Scholar. We are happy to have you with us today. She's going to help us hand out diplomas. It's like a passing of the torch. I want to invite Professor Paget Henry to the front. Where is Paget? I have lost him. There we go. Who's going to do the invocation?
In the African intellectual and religious tradition, life is a circle. It begins in the realm of the unborn. That is the realm of disembodied life. And the next stage is, of course, birth. Birth out of the realm of the unborn and into the realm of embodied life. And the stages of life in the African tradition are very similar to the stages of life that you're familiar with: childhood, adolescence, maturity, then we enter the autumn years, and then there is death. But after death, you become an ancestor. And as an ancestor, you don't return immediately to the realm of the unborn. You stay around and help your family members who you worked with while you were here on earth. So after a while, then you return to the realm of the unborn. So that's the circle of life in the African tradition. The invocation, right, is going to invoke that worldview. So I just thought I would share that with you before I did the invocation. Great Father, spirits and ancestors of the worldwide Africana family, kindred spirits wherever your sojourn finds you on this day of days. You, our historical elders who cleared the paths, we recognize you. We know that you expect us to be road makers, fully aware of the eternal connections between the path and the river. May you accept our pleas. May you help us to always remember that salt is taken out of water and is put right back into it for the purpose of nourishment. May you eliminate the path of our graduates who are taking leave of Brown today, so that wherever the journey of life takes them, they remember those who nurtured them at various stages in this school of life, especially parents. Grandparents, relatives, friends, teachers, and we will pour a special one for Professor Anani Jinyenyo, who gave us these words for this invocation. We ask for your help and blessings for the safe travel of all who have come here to bear witness today, so that the winds carry them to their destinations. We thank you and welcome you on behalf of the whole Africana family. Welcome.
So we will now sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, led by Becky Baz. And the words, if you do not have them committed to memory, are actually in the program.
Thank you so much. Ooh, it's a little hot. And please stand if you are able. Thank you so much. And we're gonna do this Caribbean soul style, so I'll lead you, all right? Each verse will be a little different, so, but it's gonna be wonderful. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory a steady beat, and not our weary feet. Come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hands, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
So next, we would like to bring our student speaker, Supreme Kane, to the stage. We are gonna miss you. We're gonna miss all of you, but we're gonna miss you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and all else who have joined in community with us today. It brings me the utmost pleasure and gratitude to have the honor of offering the senior address for this year's commencement ceremony for the Department of Africana Studies, Rights and Reasons Theater. Over the last 4 years, this department has served as a safe haven, a site of growth, intellectual curiosity, and loving community for myself and my peers, who I have come to know and cherish. When I think about the beauty of what it means to be in Africana Studies, I am reminded of conversations held at the beginning of this semester in Africana Senior Seminar with Professor Meeks. There, we engaged deeply with the words of Dolores P. Aldridge, Carlene Young, and Sylvia Winter. These scholars affirmed that the creation of Black studies set a precedent and established a tradition in which we situate ourselves in the knowledge, questions, and visions of the Black diaspora to inform the better world that we collectively hope to create. These scholars maintain the true and revolutionary essence of this work, which uplifts the intellectual value of Black thinkers and marries it with the efforts of resistance. In my time at Brown, it has been a privilege to think alongside these brilliant minds of these scholars, my classmates and faculty alike. We have come together to constantly ask ourselves and the communities to which we belong, how can we do better? How can we show up most authentically? And how can we cultivate a sense of personal empowerment that is not rooted in the disempowerment of others? Despite our awareness of the value of Africana studies, I speak from personal experience when I say that there are many people who question the validity and the significance of this discipline. Throughout my undergraduate years, I can recall several occasions where someone has asked, what can you do with this degree, and what is its relevance to our present moment? To To the question of what you can do with an Africana Studies degree, well, you can go on to study film at the University of Southern California like Tosin. Or help produce an amazing class playlist in a course called Black Protest Music like Zoe. And even craft a project on the work of Black farmers like Asha. I say all of this to make the point that Africana has nurtured all of us to think critically about the world around us and apply what we have learned into our unique passions. Now to the question of relevance. I say that we see the power of Africana in the fact that there are states that are currently banning the books that are fundamental to the study that we do. There are educational spaces that have erased the fact of the historical and present violences enacted against Black populations globally. And there are educators who are currently out of work for attempting to push back against this through the curricula that they teach. Anti-Blackness still exists as a social, political, and economic reality at this present moment. Africana Studies is an intellectual and mobilizing force that equips us with the tools necessary to address these conditions, to shake tables, question the social structures under which we live, and to articulate new ways of showing up in the world. Having this background provides a confidence to take part in a variety of spaces which represent our particular interests and aids in our journeys of self-evolution. In my own personal journey with Africana at Brown, I have been challenged to be the best thinker that I can be. Upon entering in the fall of 2019, I was swept into a community of rigor, yet one of extreme tenderness. I was immediately supported on my journey of finding my scholarly voice and to stop using passive voice. As I moved through my introductory courses at Brown, real humbling experience. Even as unprecedented world events took place, my classes in Africana served as spaces where we could come together to process and make sense of the times that were unfolding before our eyes. Finding a sacred community in this way has continuously felt like an enormous honor, a gift that keeps on giving, as I found fellowship with my peers and faculty alike over these last 4 years. Now, as I stand with you all at the closure of this experience, I feel in complete ownership of my voice and the path that I am walking on. I now feel equipped to seek out and to enter into new academic spaces, to think and theorize about Black life, history, and culture, as I have with my Africana family here at Brown. As we begin to visualize the next chapter and use our training in Africana to inform all that we do, I ask all of us to hold onto the feelings that came with the time we've spent in this department. Moments in which we felt seen as we created projects that spoke to our personal identities. Times when we were pushed to think in more broader and nuanced ways, like in classes such as global Black radicalism, as well as opportunities to directly address pressing issues through actions such as hosting a banned book read-in. Seek out these feelings or experiences in every space possible. In the way that Africana has felt like a home for many of us, it is my hope and prayer that you all will continue to find that sense of belonging, where people can continue to bear witness to your greatness, and vice versa for much more time to come. Last but not least, I'd be remiss to not give gratitude to the families, both chosen and blood, who for many of us have served as some of our first examples of what it means to live courageously, theorize based on the life that we know, and preserve the spaces that make us whole. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. I also cannot leave the stage today without saying thank you to my brilliant and beautiful classmates. I'm so grateful to all of you for giving me a sense of community that has exceeded my wildest expectations, and for the opportunity to learn with and from each and every one of you. And finally, thank you to the Department of Africana Studies, Rights and Reasons Theater, for allowing us to cultivate our intellectual journeys, and for the deep bonds which we have formed. Congratulations, class of 2023. We did it.
I know know y'all have to be proud of these students because I'm about to get emotional. Y'all did a good thing. So we are at the announcement of awards. So, Renee? Hey.
Good afternoon. It's really lovely to see you all here in this warm tent, but to celebrate, right, your family, your children and partners and family members. So I am the Director of Undergraduate Studies, and I will be announcing the awards. So this year we're doing it a little bit different. So when I call out your honors thesis, you're going to stand up and be recognized. And when I call out the awards, you'll do the same thing. So you don't have to come up here. Okay, that's really what I'm saying. So I thought I would start with honors theses, and we had 3 really good honors theses this semester. And it was actually, it may not have been your delight, but it was my delight to work with you on those. I tend to be a red pen person, so they may not have liked that as much. But it was a really, I feel like these 3 students produced really very smart, critically engaged, and really pushing the boundaries of how their topics have been addressed in the past. So the first honors thesis in the Africana concentration is Cyprien Keynes, if you'll stand up. And you'll just keep standing while I talk. So Cyprien wrote a thesis titled At the Nexus of Futurity and Liberation, Examining the Black Female Characters in Nalo Hopkinson's oeuvre. Her advisor is Francois Hamlin, over here. And her second reader was Nolowe Rooks, and as the DUS, I'm the reader of all of them. So it was a pleasure. Thank you. Avery Oliver. Avery wrote a really fascinating thesis entitled Mapping Where Once Ignored, Narratives of Black Spaces in Traditional Guidebooks versus the Green Book. And it was really a pleasure to read your writing. Her advisor as well is Francois Hamlin, who gets a huge round of applause here. You do, for all your good advising. With Matthew Gutterall and myself. And then thank you, Avery. And then Tosin Omolola. Tosin reminded me of all these TV shows that I watched with my own kid in the late 90s. So it was great reading her thesis entitled To the Shows That Raised My Sense of Self, thinking about Black sitcoms in the context of the everyday. And her advisor was Nolowe Rooks. So I'm just going to stay up here because our next is the presentation of undergraduate degrees. So that's super exciting. What you will do, if we can make this, orchestrate all this, is I'm going to call you alphabetically. So we'll start with you. Mia will come up here and hand you your oh my gosh, sorry, I'm like totally advancing ahead of the program. Maybe I'm too hot up here. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Okay. Sorry, so we'll wait one more second. So we're going to do the Departmental, the Department of Africana Studies and Rights and Reasons Theater Awards. Yes, so our first award goes to Medika, I'm sorry, let me get here. Makadia, thank you. Makadia Parker. And she and Makadia wins the award for the Brother Awe Award for the Best Concentrator Essay. So this is the best essay from the senior seminar. So thank you, Makadia. Cyprien Keynes has been awarded the Charles H. Nichols Award for Leadership. Avery Oliver has been awarded the William E.B. Du Bois Award for the Best Honors Thesis this year. And Haley Young, who's a dual concentrator and at the competing commencement ceremony, is not here today, but Haley Young is the winner of the Ethel Robinson Award for Best Creative Capstone Project. also for the senior seminar. Okay, so now I can call out the names of the students. Just give me 1 second to go back in the program. You're all in your places, most excellent. Okay, so will Asha Baker please stand and be recognized? Yes. Okay. Will Sean, Janae, Brian please stand and be recognized? Oh, you want to take that? Yeah. Okay, that's yours. You earned that cover. Will Cyprine Keynes please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Will Zoe Donovan please stand? And will Gregory Hill please stand and be recognized? Okay, make sure you get all those photos. Will Avery Oliver please stand and be recognized? Will Tosin Omolola please stand and be recognized? Will Makdia Parker please stand and be recognized? Will Sophia Saidi please stand and be recognized? And will Chloe Ray please stand and be recognized? So if you could all stand and be recognized by the audience. The class of 2023 in Africana Studies.
So we really are almost done. These are closing remarks. Most of what I want to say to you is I want to acknowledge 3 of our faculty who are retiring this year. They will be missed. I don't know what else to say. That is short and sweet. They are special to us. They are our heart, and they will be missed. So we have Lundy Braun. There's a write-up about all 3 in the program, so I'm not going to read it to you. It is there. Lundy has been with us for over 30 years. Lundy redefined the undergraduate program in community with other faculty here. She is a fabulous advisor. She is a generous colleague, and she is a teacher of some note. And again, she'll be missed. You can only imagine how much we will miss Pageant Henry because you heard him speak, and you know his heart. and you know his spirit when you hear him speak. And the same kind of energy that he brought to this moment in the invocation is the energy that he has given your children and children for the last 40 years almost here. Again, irreplaceable. He'll be missed. The last person retiring is Elmo Terry Morgan, who's actually at the TAPS graduation today. Elmo has been the artistic director of the Rights and Reason Theater for over 30 years. When I tell you he is the heart and soul of the arts, artistic production in Providence, in the Northeast Corridor, and at Brown, it is hard to overstate. He has been here over 30 years as well, and I do not have words for the hole that his absence leaves us, but we are grateful that we had him for as long as we did. Yeah, let's applaud Elmo in absentia. I want to just briefly, I don't have big closing remarks for you other than wanting to just introduce our faculty to you. My job would not be possible without them. This day would not be possible without them. Africana Studies would not be possible without your children and these people on the stage. So starting over here, we have Matthew Gutturl. Who's also in American Studies and Africana Studies. Next to him is Tony Bogues, who's also the director of the Ruth Simmons Center for the Study of Slavery and Justice, and has been, he's the founding director. And all you need to do is look up what happens there to understand the blessing that he is. We have Brian Meeks. Brian's in Africana Studies. He does political theory. And all of the awards, the majority of the awards, came out of students who were in his senior seminar. So when the students chose people who they thought were most deserving. And so it gives you a sense of what takes place. Just Supreme's talk gives you a sense of what takes place in that class and how he pushes students to find their own space within Africana Studies and not just take up the space that we sometimes want to push them into. Then we have, Renee Ader, you've seen her, who's our director of undergraduate studies. So to the extent that everybody went through, all of the classes were taken, the requirements were taken. Sometimes she pushed, sometimes she's honey, sometimes she got a little vinegar. But she makes sure that things are as they need to be. And I think ultimately made everybody, all the graduates, better. I started with Lundy already, so let's go to Ainsley LaSure, who is a jointly appointed faculty member with political science and us, and in the next few years is going to be teaching some really necessary courses about Black politics, because if you're paying any kind of attention to the world, an analysis of Black politics is going to need to be centered. And so we're blessed to have someone who that's the work that she's going to bring into the world. Francoise Hamlin. Francoise, when, I forgot who it was, I think Supreme mentioned something about the passive voice. I'm going to tell you, I've only been here 2 years, but the students who win awards tend to have Francoise as an advisor, and the students who win awards will always tell you how they have fear of the passive voice because of the work that she has done with them. But the fact that so often her advisees rise to this kind of level, that happens with individual effort and work. There's no way to ChatGPT that. There's no way to phone that in. It's individual effort by individual effort, and she takes time. She takes time. I told you about pageant, and then there is Lisa Bates. Lisa is in Africana. She is a fabulous writer, director, speech coach. Lisa excels at having students find an authentic voice for themselves. Sometimes that voice is in writing, sometimes that voice is in speaking, sometimes that voice is in performance. But we are blessed to have someone that sees the arts as a nexus for intellectual work and creative work. And it puts us in Africana really in a very unique position because performance and art is really the history of where Black Studies comes from. Artists are central to Black Studies. Artists as intellectuals are central to Black Studies. And so to have an artist, an intellectual, and a generous colleague like Lisa, again, when I say blessed, I mean it. I feel blessed to work in this department with these people and to have gotten to know your kids. I want to briefly introduce you to our staff who have been really putting in work to make today what it is. We have our technical director, Alonzo Jones, who's over there. Alonzo's been here for a minute too. He does lighting, sound, set construction. He does artistic design. He can build anywhere. Somebody told me recently he could build a house if we asked him to. He can design anything. He can make anything sound good. He can light Black people to perfection. This is no small thing. No small. We have a new member, Gina Rodriguez-Drix, who's only been with us since February. Gina is the events and productions manager. And so the kind of place we are, she graduated from here in what, 08? I mean, yeah, 2008, yeah, 2008.5. And in Taps in Africana, she is a playwright herself. She's had her work produced. She is an events organizer par excellence. She's just getting started, but really we are thrilled to see what she does, where she goes, and what next year's commencement might look like under her tutelage. We have Kathy Moyer, who also, I'm sorry, I know I'm taking time with this, but we need to say thank you to the folks that make this possible. And it's just another couple of minutes, and I just want you to know who they are as well. It's not just the faculty who make Africana Rights and Reason what we are. Kathy Moyer is the production manager. She is every performance we have, and most of the things that we do as a department. She's the person, she's sort of the traffic cop kind of person. She's gonna make sure that people know where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. If they freeze up because they're unclear what they're supposed to do, Kathy will find a way to make sure that you know what is supposed to happen, where you're supposed to be, and that you have what you need to be successful. So. And last but not least, we have Catherine Van Amberg, who is our administrative coordinator. And every little piece of correspondence that is not dead center for anyone else's job is dead center for her job. She is somebody who, again, she's keeps the flow going in the office at an administrative level in the same way that Kathy does at a performance level. So this is who we are. Thank you. So we're going to take a picture of the faculty and the graduates. And somebody's going to tell me where that's taking place because I honestly don't know. But that's going to happen. In the meantime, we have lovely lunch for you. People can start organizing themselves, sit at a table, get food, get drink. We'll give you your kids back in just one quick moment. We just want a little picture.
The faculty can stand up and the students, graduates can remain seated. Yeah, thanks.
And you're going to take it from where?
right up the stairs, right.
If anything, just look for where it says restrooms. It's on the right side of the hall. Yeah, that's
How is the fast food?